Well, hello, Sydney. I see
Yeah,
that.
welcome,
No, go
welcome to
ahead.
Halloween episode.
Yeah, we have an actual I can't believe that it actually fall on a Monday, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
then we're
amazing.
doing a movie that has nothing to do with science fiction, but I guess just movies in general.
Yeah, well, it's a horror movie,
It's a
so I
horror
mean,
movie,
it's got its own following. I
and
mean, of course, we're wearing our Ghostbuster
our
gear,
Ghostbusters gear,
which wouldn't
for
stop a knife.
for people who are on the audio, that Shane have his awesome Ghostbusters uniform, and I just have the what did you call it?
Ghostbusters dispatcher
Dispatcher
shirt.
shirt,
Yeah, the uniform shirt.
which is still make me feel pretty cool. Got my name and everything on it.
Yeah, it's got your first name on it.
My first name because it's the dispatcher shirt, so that way people can like, hey,
Oh,
lame,
oh,
whatever. But you like
well,
you're on the field. I'm the guy in the
yeah.
chair.
Oh, okay, okay. You're the guy in the chair.
Yep.
Quit watching porn, okay?
But no lotion and tissue paper here. All right, Scream. I think I love this movie because it's one of the ones that the derive away from like, hey, they kill a major movie star in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they do.
So that sets the
They
tone of like, so you don't know who else can go.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let's say the most gruesome murder in this whole movie is at the beginning of
Is the
this movie.
beginning, right? And there's
Yeah,
a
it's
major
like the
star.
most cold-blooded murder you ever seen on TV, just about. So after that, you're like, huh?
Like,
I'm gonna
what's gonna
keep
go from
watching.
here, right?
Yeah, you're like everybody's is a goner now.
And then like, besides it being
Which
like
is
a
Drew Barrymore. We want to point out is
yeah, as a
the
star, yeah,
first
the
character.
first
Yeah,
character,
and
and
she was the biggest star in this movie.
she is at this time definitely.
Yeah,
And like
I mean after the
besides,
movie, they're all equal, but yeah,
oh, after this, yeah. Besides the I guess the thriller slasher, right? This is the basically who done it. You
yeah.
just
This
want to
is a
find
big
out
whodunit.
who's the killer, right?
And yeah, and I love this. This is my favorite horror movie.
Oh, really?
But I'm not a big horror movie fan either, so I never really watch horror movie stuff. I've seen a few, they're usually not scary. I'm not gonna say this one's scary, but this one will mess with your mind a little bit, and it's very smart at the end.
It's very smart at the end. It's
And
basically a
no, there's
plot of revenge
yeah, well, it's kind of revenge thing. It's a little bit of everything.
for
It's
one
maybe,
guy.
I mean, it's a '90s movie. It's what come out in December 20th, 1996.
96. I think I seen this with my cousin
Well, it's the
back
funny
in the
thing. That's
theater.
that's the same. I didn't see it at the theater. I saw it.
Oh,
I guess maybe a year or 2 years later. My cousin showed it to me. He's a big horror guy.
oh, okay.
So he showed it to me. And after I saw that, I was like, "Huh, now I'm gonna watch more horror movies."
Well,
And I
this
did,
one is really good
and
though.
and they weren't very impressive. But
No,
yeah, this one
nothing.
is very good,
This one is really good. Like
especially the
Wes
ending.
Craven, you
Yeah,
know,
it's Wes Craven.
he created Freddy.
Oh yeah, he did the Freddy movies,
Yeah,
which
and
I've
he
seen a
actually
few.
dressed like him in the school
Yeah, he
cafeteria. Remember?
actually makes an appearance. A lot of
He
people make an
does.
appearance though. Linda Blair from The Exorcist makes an appearance. She's a reporter.
Oh yes,
You
the
seen The
older lady.
Exorcist,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, well, she didn't look that old in this movie, but
I mean, like
well,
obviously,
she
yeah.
was a reporter, yeah. And of
Yes.
course, the Fonz.
The Fonz is awesome.
The
His character is
Fonz
so
is,
out of place. Like the president, like, ugh.
yeah,
Are you kidding
Mr.
me?
Hambley.
People are getting murdered, and this is how you dress in school.
But
You
I mean,
both
now,
expelled.
but the thing is, now all the people in this movie are pretty famous.
Yes.
I mean, of course, a lot of them were coming off popular TV shows during the
Well,
'90s.
Courtney
Neve
Cox
Campbell,
was Friends,
yeah,
right? And Neve Campbell
everybody
was
knew
Party
Courtney.
of Five.
Yeah, Party of Five
But
for
then
Neve Campbell.
I don't think I know David Arquette before this.
Well, he was up and coming. He
Well,
wasn't.
because
I think this is what made him.
yeah,
I
Arquette
think
family.
people may argue some other stuff, but this is what made him.
Oh, Scream, yeah,
Because I
definitely.
want to go ahead and point out because David Arquette was actually supposed to die in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets killed. When he gets stabbed and he falls down at the end of the
Yeah.
movie. That was it. He was dead. They
Oh.
brought it back. They went and refilmed a little bit to bring him back because he's so popular.
Oh, interesting. I
And
did not know
and
that.
this is the only movie I actually like him in.
Oh, David Arquette. Like I can't say
Well, I
that
don't
I've
like
seen him
it.
in
He
other
does it.
things.
Yeah, he does. He's not. I don't know. I just don't like him in any other movie other
What?
than the Scream series. I
Yeah,
don't like him in anything
besides the
else.
Scream
He's done
series.
he did a car movie where he's like this car guy or supposed to be this street racer type guy. It was
Really?
horrible. Oh, it's awful. It's like
Well, I never heard of
no,
it. So this is his
no.
franchise then. Like
Yeah, this is his thing. This is his movie.
not his franchise, but he's a big part of the
And plus
of
Jamie
this.
Kennedy. We know Jamie Kennedy.
Oh yeah, Jamie Kennedy. And Scooby. Not Scooby.
Oh yeah. Well yeah. I forgot what is his name.
Matthew
But yeah, he
Lillard.
played yeah, Matthew.
And
I'm still not a fan of his either, other than Scream.
And Skeet, right? Skeet Ulrich. He's a pretty.
Yeah, but he didn't do a lot of stuff either. But he was supposed to be popular because he looked like Johnny Depp.
Oh my gosh, that's what he reminds me of.
Yeah,
Johnny
he
Depp.
was supposed to be like a Johnny Depp, so he came on. Because you got to remember, Drew Barrymore was actually supposed to play the main character of this movie.
Like Sidney?
No, she's supposed to be Sidney Prescott.
Oh, I did not know that.
The thing is, and that's the only reason that the director joined.
Really?
Because Drew Barrymore, because Wes Craven didn't want to do it at all. He's like, I already done that. I'm done with horror.
Wow,
because I want to direct some real movies.
So good,
then he saw Drew Barrymore, and he read the script because this is Kevin Williamson. I don't know if Kevin Williamson. This is what really made him pretty much. Well, he got popular because he came out with some Creek. What was that?
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek.
Oh,
Dawson's Creek. Yeah, dude, Dawson's Creek. And then of course he'll do the next Scream movie, and then he'll write notes for the third one. This became And the thing is, like we said, the original name of this movie is Scary Movie.
Oh, it's called Scary Movie.
It was called Scary Movie. Matter of fact, I read the script to Scary Movie.
It's so funny. Is that why the Wayne brothers, when they did a parody of this movie called Scary Movie?
Because Miramax or Dimension Films kept the name.
They kept the name. Oh,
but yeah, But the original script is Scary Movie.
I also like in the beginning of the scene, right, when the killer's on the phone with Drew Barrymore, when they talk about Halloween, right? They play the Halloween theme.
Yeah.
Like very subtly, like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, the soundtrack to me, I think the soundtrack to this movie is awesome.
Oh, it is.
I have it. I have it.
I think the
whole original score, and then the
songs,
music, all the songs in it. Yeah, really good.
It plays really well with the movie. I think that's the common theme with movies, no matter what the genre is, right?
Well, that's the thing. If somebody's like to go, so what's the most? What if somebody say, hey, name a movie that shows you the '90s?
Oh, this is one of them.
This would be one of them. This would probably be the main one I'd name. I feel like, there was a lot of killing and stuff, but it was pretty much that. That was
American Pie, this one.
Yeah.
Things like that. I did like the when they say name the killer.
You think the '90s suck?
No. No, I didn't say that. When they say name the killer in the Friday the 13th, people always usually get that one wrong, right?
Because I would have got it wrong too. Yeah,
but
I've never seen it. Yeah, everybody wants to say Jason. I mean, Jason. They even say that there's a backstory that Williamson, he won a free drink at a bar because he came up with that.
Oh, really?
Because he already knows that everybody's going to get it wrong.
Oh,
it's a trick question because everybody just thanks Jason, but it's
because Friday the 13th is associated with it's kind of like the Frankenstein's monster thing, right? Like, it's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein's monster.
Exactly.
They never had a name. It's like the monster with no name.
Yeah. Just took the name of the creator, but yeah.
And that's another guy who plays was it Levi? Who's the guy who plays Shaker?
What was his Cotton something in the movie?
Yeah, Cotton something.
But he plays Sabretooth.
What's his actor's name? He's not in the movie a lot, but I still remember him.
I forgot. He became a big giant star too.
Oh, he's a big giant star too. He has a TV series on.
But apparently not that big because we can't remember his name.
His name Levi is Lieve. Yeah. I can't remember how to say
Levi. I can't remember his last name.
I could probably find it because I have it pulled up. Oh, Levi Schrober.
Yeah.
Cotton Weary. Like they only show like a news
they only showed
footage of him.
Exactly. They only showed him in pictures for the crime and then him being put in a police car.
I mean, like it's a small role, right? But he has a huge impact on the whole movie.
Yeah,
because they framed him.
Because the characters are supposed to think. Well, Sidney's supposed to think he's the one that did it, and now she has to question it.
Oh, all these things like it's not even a crime thriller, but there's a hint of that in this movie.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good. I mean, it's got all the characters. Plus, you got Deputy Dewey, which is he's got his sister. Yeah, he's got his sister, and he's just his kid.
Oh, Rose McGowan. I forgot she was in this movie.
Yeah, Rose McGowan, and that's his sister. You got we got the guy from Scooby-Doo, plays our boyfriend.
Yes.
He's a goofy guy with apparently a rich kid.
Oh, well, I was going to say, like, are these all rich kids? Because the house, like, even Neve Campbell, Sydney's, right? Like, they have a huge house.
Well, I think, we're going to say I guess their families are well-to-do. But, apparently they live somewhere out in the country.
In California,
kind of the country. Right? Yeah, I'm going to say they live in California. It's supposed to be California. They're supposed to do this movie in Santa Rosa, I think, school district or something. and the town is called Woodsboro.
Woodsboro, yeah, Woodsboro.
In this deal, but the problem is they're supposed to use a school in this, and then the school board decided it was going to be too violent, so they had to use a community center. They had to use a community center instead for the high school.
Oh,
but the thing is, at the end of the credits, you can even see it. It says, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa School District."
Oh no, I didn't see that. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's at the very end of the credits where they thank everybody.
But you know, what's wrong with making just things just fictional? You know, you don't have to base it on real places.
But if we stay to the housing, I'm going to say it's a lot of older houses.
Oh, these are older houses.
You know, if you go to some small towns, some of the houses are a little bit big in small towns.
Yeah, those houses,
because in small towns, a lot of small towns, as long as you have a decent job, it doesn't really cost you much to get a house. It's not like nowadays, like you live in the Dallas area or the LA area, where things have cost a fortune.
Now you know, like they can't be like living in these houses now.
Because I mean, in the country, like Stu's house. That's what a house out here in this country would look like. If you see an older house, maybe around that time, that's how big it's going to be.
Oh.
You know, it wasn't really a fancy house. So Sydney's house was huge.
Yeah, Sydney's house was huge, right? Just him.
But it also sat on the cliff.
Her and her dad.
Well, she had a mom. Remember, her mom got
killed.
Because it turned out her mom was not a very good person.
Yeah.
But, well, she did her thing and she got killed.
Which is crazy, right? The revenge plot of Billy is just because my mom left, and now I'm crazy. Yeah. I guess it's all white boy serial killer movie.
But you got to remember, in all the other movies, they really didn't have a reason to kill anybody.
No, right? This one, you got
to think though. This movie's self-aware because you know everybody wants to talk. It's what's the motive? Because that's what we always want to know. Even during all the murders during the '90s, if you watch the news and stuff, and there was a lot of it, it's what's their motive? What's their motive? It's still that way today. Everybody's got to have a motive. And this one, remember, Stu's like, well, we got to have a motive, so we're going to make up one, even though we really don't have one. We're just doing this for fun. Which Stu actually did have a motive.
What was Stu's motive? Peer pressure? Oh,
peer pressure, just peer pressure. Because you could tell, even through the whole movie, he's pretty much a follower.
Yeah, he's a follower.
He was just a follower. He's just a kid. It's a follower. And he didn't care about any of his girlfriends because we find out he dated the girl at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
But the thing about this movie is when I'm watching this, I always think it's the boyfriend, Sid's boyfriend.
Billy, right?
Yeah, you think it's Billy. I think it's Billy the whole movie. Did you think it was Billy though?
See, I had no idea. But then they did the thing in the middle where the killer, you know what the really genius thing is? They had two killers.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to get to. This is what I'm trying to get to. Because see, the whole movie you're trying to figure out who the killer is, right? Yep. So I decided it's Billy, but I'm like, it's obvious it's Billy. So it's got to be somebody else. So they're just going to make it somebody else.
Yes.
But the thing is, then I keep deciding, it's got to be Billy. It's got to be Billy because he's just too out there. The thing is, then you get to the part where he gets killed in the middle of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go,
maybe it's not.
It wasn't Billy. And then at the end, you find out it's two. It's like, how did you not know that it's two? I don't. So you think to yourself,
man.
How do you not know it's two? Because, they're always at the other opposite doors.
Yes.
One door or the other, constantly. So that means there's got to be two. A lot of people said, there's got to be three killers. And the other movies make it possible that there was three killers.
Yeah.
If we watch this deal, but this movie could have ended here. This would have been one of the best movies ever.
But it was still good though, because like you said, you keep thinking it's Billy, right? They keep making you double and then triple guessing yourself.
Yeah, well, they show everybody. They make so many people could be the killers.
They even had that. Hold on, before you go, like you talk about the double killer, right? Even Sidney keep asking. It was like she had that in her mind, like, hey, when you were in jail, right? Who'd you call?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh shit, like, I called my dad, but he didn't pick up.
Yeah,
he called Stu.
It makes you even question more that he's the killer. Then he gets killed, and you're like, he's out.
Exactly. After the scene after that, you're like, is he lying?
Like, here's the thing: is they don't really ever suspect Stu.
No one suspects Stu.
The thing is, you do suspect Jamie Kennedy.
Yes, because he have all those rules, right? He's the one.
They try to get you. I think they try to get you to suspect the father, but I didn't at all anywhere in the movie.
No, I didn't suspect the father until they brought him into the picture. Like, he's been missing. Like, well, where the hell is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then they find his car.
And then,
I still didn't think that. I'm like,
and then they talk about like he has a trip, like it's just this convenient time, right? It's like one of those lies that you see on a sitcom. Like, hey, we're gonna make this
that's the thing, because you assume that this is gonna be like all the old horror movies seen in the '80s, and the killer's gonna be pretty obvious. But
I know.
Turns out, no, the killer wasn't obvious because there were two of them.
So basically, Wes Craven became the fan of himself. Like, hey, these are the movies I made in the '80s, right? This is what I'm gonna do to make it better and to put the audience off the track.
Well, you gotta also think this was a good script.
This is a great
This was
script.
the best, one of the best written scripts. So I can see why this guy blew up. Kevin Williamson got so big.
Did you think that this would age today? Like when we were watching it this week, right? Did you think like, oh, it still holds up very well today? I mean, they didn't use any cell phones.
To us it does. Yeah, to us it does. But I wonder if a younger generation watch it, if it would hold up.
Huh.
Because we see it because a lot of stuff is going to be tied to memories.
Tied to memory, and also like nowadays,
we remember having the telephone in the house.
They put telephone in the house. I know that's
everybody's got caller ID now, so
caller ID, and everyone have cell phones. Like even the whole party, right? Like, hey, let's put this on TikTok.
The thing is, most of this movie is based on me and you just graduated high school around this time.
Yes, around this time without advanced technology.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say it was advanced. We thought all that stuff.
You know what's the thing that really dates this movie? The delay between the video and the camera feed.
Yeah,
I mean, like
when Kenny the cameraman,
it's a 30-second delay, right? Which is true back in the day, but now it's not a 30. There's still a delay, but not that much of a time gap.
Yeah,
because
the funny thing is, for the amount of people got killed, though, you almost think everybody's gonna get killed.
Oh man,
because think about it, just about everybody gets killed, but at the end, it turns out the main characters, you don't have just one survivor; you have a whole group of survivors.
Yes, you have
which I was actually happy with it because you got Sidney survives, the main character. You got Courteney Cox. Yeah, Gail Weathers ends up surviving, and then the Deputy Dewey, they save him, and Jamie Kennedy survives.
Yeah, you do have a whole bunch of survivors.
Of course, Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, they all had the crap beat out.
That's what's different from the older movies, right? It's only one survivor.
Usually, there's only one survivor.
Because like when you have the sequel, that person they never believed that person. Like, this happened before.
And plus, they also point out rules to horror movies. Yeah, this has the rules to the horror movies.
That's Jamie's character.
Which is good because this whole movie's going on, and you got a character pointing out the rules to this horror movie.
Yes.
And the thing is, Sidney breaks some of those rules and still survives. Matter of fact, Jamie Kennedy breaks those rules and survives. He drinks, he doesn't get killed.
He does that.
Sidney has sex, she doesn't get killed.
Wow.
Gail Weathers is kind of immoral, she doesn't die.
Yeah, well, Dewey's like a Dewey,
he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he almost died.
Yeah, he almost dies. Have you seen the other ones, like the second, third, and
fourth yes, one? I saw the third one. I don't know if we'll ever do the second or the third one on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a story. I saw the second one in the theater. Mm-hmm. After I saw this, I had to go see. I had to see the second one in the theater. So I'm watching it. The second one. The second one, has two characters in a movie theater.
Yes.
And they get killed. You got Jenna Pickett.
Yeah, Jenna Pickett.
Anyway, and I forgot who the other actor. Was it Omar?
Mackay Pfeiffer, right?
No, was it Omar. Was it? I don't remember who. I can't remember. Is. Too bad we don't. But anyhow, they go see a movie and then they both get killed in the theater. Well, the thing is, I sat there in the theater and I looked around and I am the only one in the theater watching this movie. There is nobody in this theater. And they just get killed, and I'm thinking, I look around and then you hear the air conditioner come on in the theater.
Yeah.
I thought, when somebody comes in here with a Ghostface mask, I am going to crap all over myself.
Hey, I was going to ask you, I'm not familiar with the Ghostface mask. That was already out before this movie was out, right? I have no idea.
It's the story. The story, I've read several different stories. It's hard to understand the story, but I think it already was already out.
Yeah, it was already
from what I understand. Yeah, well, from what I understand, they went to shoot a location or scouting locations, and they found a mask, a scary Ghostface mask. One story says they made a mask that looks similar to it. And the other story here, they tried to copy that mask. They couldn't come up with anything that
looks so good, yeah.
So they got in a deal with the people that made the mask and just started using it.
That's so
I'm actually thinking the story is that they found the mask and they just made it. They just used that mask.
Oh, okay.
But they also say that Harvey Weinstein didn't like the mask at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't want to use it, but finally he settled on it. That's why he's in prison.
Well, I don't want to talk about that guy.
Nobody really wants to. It's kind of like this is the worst part of the franchise is who was connected to. But
yes, I like. I like. What was that when they mentioned talk about have you ever seen Prom Night? Because they talk about that.
I actually haven't never seen
Night. They save time. I never seen Prom Night either.
I've never seen that. There's a whole bunch of movies that mentions I've never seen it. I mean, well, of course it mentions Friday the 13th.
Well, yeah.
Jason, but it also mentions there's the one called the Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Oh,
about murders in Texas, because they mentioned that. Dewey mentions that. Well, one of them says that, and Dewey goes, "Oh yeah," when they're walking the town after the curfew and everybody's going in the stores. He mentions that movie.
Huh.
But yeah, James Kinney's character, of course, he's standing in the horror section
Oh, I know that's
in
awesome.
the Psycho, which has a blockbuster, which
Oh,
I'll never find
that's
again.
super dated. Yeah.
Yeah, that is way dated.
Oh.
I don't think this is a low budget movie too.
Oh, this is a very low budget
Yeah, it
movie.
was a very low budget, but the
It
problem is
made a lot of money.
I didn't pay that much attention to how low budget it was, but I did notice one thing.
What?
One of the cars is used twice. You know, okay, at the very beginning of the movie, the parents of the girl that gets murdered at the very beginning of the movie,
Oh yeah, yeah.
they drive a Thunderbird, Ford Thunderbird,
Mm-hmm.
the silver one. At the end of the movie, those kids that jump in the cars and drive off.
Oh,
really
for the
quick,
principal's house. Yeah.
they're driving the same car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It may be like the Ford F-150 of that town. Okay.
Well, it probably was. I mean, but the problem is, it's the same car.
Wow, interesting. I can't believe you caught that.
Yeah, I just thought that was. Oh, that's weird.
The budget was like 15 million, right, dude? You made over like 170 million.
Yeah, and the thing is, this movie, like I said, it came out in December.
Yeah, and
the horror movie in December, and it didn't do very good. Oh, the first week it didn't do very good. Came out against Jerry Maguire and I forgot the other movie it came out against.
Wow, it went against Jerry Maguire. And
it went out against Jerry Maguire.
I went to see this instead of Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw this in the theater.
Yeah, well, I didn't really want to see Jerry Maguire, but obviously I saw it.
Well, I saw it at home,
Sadly, I saw Jerry Maguire, I think, before I saw Scream.
Oh no, I saw Scream before Jerry Maguire.
But now I'm sitting here.
I mean,
who do I like better?
They're both good movies, Scream. Though. But like, I still like Scream. Movies. Yeah, both very good. Better. Yeah, I like Scream better. I mean, not that I don't like. Yeah.
But anyhow, the first week they didn't do very good.
No, it's because
but the thing is, people saw it.
It's the word of mouth. Like, hey, this is really good.
Yeah, this was a word of mouth movie, and that's what saved it.
Yes.
Which would have been a shame we'd be talking about it right now. Nobody knows what we're talking about. Could happen. That's an alternate reality.
It's really funny we talk about that. Like, Jerry Maguire is a movie that we'll probably never talk about on this show.
No, I really plan on not ever talking
just personally, right? But we're doing Scream, and we knew we wanted to do Scream.
We're going to do a Jerry Maguire right now, just for a few seconds. Okay, it has Tom Cruise in it. He's an agent to this football player.
Renee Zellweger and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. I guess he was a football player. And and they have this little kid.
And Jay Moore.
Yeah, little kid. And then the biggest line that comes from this movie is, show me the money and you complete me. Boom, that's into this movie.
Really?
You don't really got to see anything else.
One of the other lines I remember is, I love black people.
That's the only line you would remember.
He's making him sing all this crap. And there's another comedian I remember on the movie, Aries Spears. He used to be on Mad TV. Well, and he played Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother in the movie.
Okay, I think we gave this more coverage than it deserves.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Hey, I still like Jerry Maguire. Like, it's still a very good movie, but like,
it's okay. It's a love movie.
It's a love movie. It's not a rom-com. Yeah. It's drama.
Is it a drama?
Yes.
I question that. I still question that today.
Hey, that movie is also very good. Okay, but Scream is that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, Scream is the rom-com that when things really go bad.
I watched the 2021. I guess there's another one.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
With all the characters comes back. It's still the same timeline. That one is Scream. Okay.
Well, it's in the same universe.
It's the same universe. That one is okay, but like it's because this movie happened, right? That's why it's possible to have that one in the future.
Well, which one did you watch? Who became the killer in that one?
Oh, I can't tell you.
I've already seen it.
But it's Jack Quaid. Is in
Jack Quaid. I don't know if I saw that one.
No, it's
I've seen the fourth one. I saw the fourth one.
I can't remember the fourth one. The third one had Jay and Silent Bob. I remember. The third one, they went to the
third one.
Studios.
Yeah, the third one had
Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay, the second one to me is one of the best ones.
The sequel too, yeah.
Yeah, the sequel, mainly because I sat in the theater by myself and watched it.
The second one has Jeremy O'Connor, right?
The second one has, it does.
Yeah, this I can't remember. I can't remember the third one.
And it's also got I forgot the act. Well, we seen him he is the marshal in the.
Oh yes, Timothy Alphonse.
Yeah, the marshal. He was in the.
He's one of the guys I keep telling her that every time I see this dude, right? Like, dude, this is a good-looking man. Even in The Office, like, you ever seen The Office? He had a couple of cameos in The Office, right?
Oh, does he?
Once Michael Scott, like, Steve Carell character, bring him to The Office, right? You can see the women in the office like, oh my effing god. One of them says, "Oh, F me."
Well, a lot of people always like to talk about him because he looked kind of like a young Jack Nicholson.
Oh, he does.
Kind of. So
So does Leo. You should see the
he
face that
doesn't.
Leo DiCaprio makes of Jack Nicholson. Like, oh my god, he looks like Jack Nicholson. Like,
Oh,
when he
I
does
don't see
this,
that. Oh, does he? Yeah,
he looks like
I don't see it.
Psycho.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's not the part of Jack Nicholson anybody wants to look like. But
No, but Leo can do. Yeah,
yeah,
but
the third one I didn't enjoy the third one all that much.
I
When they go
can't
to
remember the
Hollywood.
third one all that much. Either.
Yeah, it wasn't that good because Kevin Williamson didn't write the script either.
Oh, so maybe
It
that's
went
why.
to me, but the third one I guess was supposed to be. I guess if you look at it in an art perspective or a horror movie perspective, it's probably supposed to be a good one because it's third one. Third one's not supposed to be that good anyways, and it's when stuff just starts kind of getting a little crazy.
Oh,
The story starts. The fourth one, it's like they go back to Woodsboro. The fourth one has
I don't remember seeing the
I
fourth one.
forgot what the actress's name is, but it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be Sydney's niece.
Really?
Yeah, it's Sydney's niece, and she's actually the actress. I can't think of her name. I wish I. I mean, if I told you, we'd all know who she is because she's also in the Scream TV series because there was a Scream TV series
Oh, called
for MTV.
Stab. Yeah.
No, it's called Scream for MTV. Stab is the movie within a movie for
Yeah, the
Scream
movie, yeah.
2,
Oh,
which
okay.
a lot of the actresses there's in that movie were supposed to be in the first one, but they either got turned down or they turned it down.
Oh, okay. Wow. I can't.
So,
yeah. I
this
feel like I
movie
want to rewatch them now.
This movie spawned a big universe.
It did, right? Just something so simple.
Yeah. So
Why is this writing so good?
uh,
Jamie Lee Curtis is the Scream Queen.
well, she was. To me, the Scream Queen is now Neve Campbell.
Oh, you're saying there's like a transfer? Or like
Yeah,
a
she
new
just-
queen?
Yeah, she beat her. She beat her by a long shot.
You know, remember that part where it was in the party, right? Like, well, first of all, I want to talk about the garage door thing. Like, that's B crap,
Yeah.
right? Like she's trying to escape through that little door. Like, this is the
Oh, that's
90s,
awesome.
right? Like, I remember when a garage door, like, if you're trying to close on something, it would open back. But
Yeah,
I guess
well,
I don't know how old this technology is of this
Well,
house.
it depends on your garage. Yeah, it depends on your garage door. This is maybe an old house because not all of them work correctly.
I mean, like-
and some of them,
How heavy does Rose McGowan weigh for the garage door be able to carry her out?
she probably had a
gotta be
she probably
80
had-
pounds at least, right?
probably had a pretty good. Hey, you question it because I guarantee a garage door could kill somebody.
That's true. I could, yeah, I believe
Especially
that's true, yeah.
especially if it went up and didn't stop. I mean, garage doors you can get a pretty heavy motor. You
Yeah,
know,
I
you see like a
suppose.
half because they got a half-ton motor, they got 3/4 ton, and they have a ton.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
I
yeah,
mean, like-
I wouldn't.
But then
I
her
wouldn't wanna
thought
get stuck in
process
there.
is to run to that little doggy
Well,
door.
let me put it this way.
I guess
what was
you
your
know,
thought process?
I point this out to my friends too. Like at that moment of panic, right? No one is thinking of their right mind. It's when you discuss the fact after, then you have their right mind. Like, oh, I
Well,
would never done that.
But
Yeah, but you wouldn't
problem
know.
is- But think about it. Think about it. There's only one place to get out.
Yeah, you were trying to make it through that. Yeah.
It's the doggy door.
Yep.
I mean, I know.
Oh, I know. I agree.
Door.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you got to think. She was small.
She was very small.
She can't go out. She can't go out the door. The garage. She can't go out in the garage door because he controls them.
So was that? You know what? Let's play this game. Who do you think the killer is at which scene? At
Oh.
that part, is it Billy
Stu.
or is it Stu?
I think it's Stu killed her.
You think it's Stu?
Yeah, I really think Stu killed her right there.
Oh, because it feels like when he killed her, right? I remember when I was watching the movie theater, like
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I think it's Stu killed her.
Mhm.
Because we see Stu leave before.
before
Kind
the
of
scene.
walked. He goes to get, and he's supposed to he went to go get another beer.
Yes.
Because he goes, I'll be right back. That's when she's supposed to have been out there. And Billy is upstairs with
Yes. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a
So,
good one. Yeah.
because he's got the costume already. He
So
already
did you
gets the
think
crap beat out.
Stu was the one that killed Casey in the beginning?
I think Stu is the one that probably stabbed her and killed her at the end.
Yeah, but it
They
was
were both-
both of them there. Yeah.
But hold up, I gotta do something real quick.
Okay. Because I was gonna say like when I watched this in the theater, right?
Yeah.
That part after she got killed with the garage door and the killer goes back into the house. Someone actually yelled out like, "Oh, time to go back to the party." I thought that was very funny.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think at the beginning I think they both did it, but I think it was mainly Stu killed her because he dated her.
Yeah. And Who
And they
was the
probably
one that
both
killed
cut.
the principal?
Ooh,
It's hard
probably
to
took
say, right?
turns. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, right?
I think Stu did a lot of it, if you think about it.
Oh, why? Because he was the
Yeah.
wacky one. He was the crazy one, I
Well,
guess.
no, because Billy just ran into to because when he in the bathroom, remember, she almost gets killed in the bathroom,
Oh, that's right. The bathroom scene was
but
good.
she just ran into Billy.
For the bathroom scene to work, right? They have to know that she has to use the bathroom.
Yeah, well, they know she was going to be in there, but that's the thing. She ran into Billy, so he knew where she was going.
Hmm.
So it could have
Oh.
been Billy, or it could have been Stu, or they could have both been there.
How did they get so much time to get dressed in that costume and then put it away too?
Well, you just drop it over you.
And then where are you gonna put it when you take it off?
Oh, they probably just wad it up, throw it anywhere. I mean, come on, you just think it would have folded up in a little pouch.
So that they just have extra costumes
They probably could have had several. I bet they did. They probably had them all stashed
just
all
in
over the place.
case.
Because they found the costume. Because you remember Deputy found the Dewey
Oh,
found the
that's
costume at the
right.
beginning.
Yeah.
Because I think of that one, that was Billy.
So that was Billy probably
when-
freaking out
at her
Sidney in the
house.
beginning,
At her
right?
house. At her house. That's probably Stu and Billy. Because
Yeah, they
remember,
always
because
work
the ghost,
together.
because he probably was at one door, scared her, and then Stu caught her at another entrance, and then when she made it up the hallway,
So
Billy took his costume off, and Stu was the one who was at the door.
I got the
trying to cut
title.
her.
I got the title of this episode. So Stu and Billy is just like Christian Bale in The Prestige.
What a weird crap
No,
is
they're
that?
not twins, but like they're always working together at one scene, so
Yeah.
they seem
So
quick.
you think that Ghostface killers are quick.
Yes.
So
I just can't get over the two killer thing. It's gonna be a long time before, so people will forget about this, right? So they can reuse that later in the movie. Like it's two
yeah.
killers.
Well, in a way, you should have known that because it kind of gives a clue, I think, in a way at the beginning.
So two
Casey, when they
killers?
talking Casey Becker,
Yeah.
they asked, "So which door am I at? Am I at the back door or the front door?" See, it wouldn't matter what door she went out at because there was one standing at the back door and there's one that was standing at the front door.
Oh, so you know what? I think the Friday the 13th too. Like the mother and Jason is kind of like two killers thing.
Yeah, well, this expands further in the second one.
It does,
because we might as well go ahead and ruin it. I mean, the mother is the killer in the second one.
In the second one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the third one, it turns out that they have one more brother.
What, Friday the 13th? See, I'm not familiar with
No,
Friday.
no. I'm talking about Scream.
Oh,
The second
Scream.
Scream, the mother,
Oh, Billy.
Billy's, is the killer.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. I need to
and then
rewatch
the
it.
third one, it turns out Billy has a brother that left even earlier, an older brother.
Oh.
No, it's not. No, I think it's something. No, it turns out that Sidney has a brother. Sidney's brother is the killer, and she didn't even know she had the brother because her brother was put up for adoption.
Oh, I think I can't remember that now because Jamie
it's hard to
Kennedy
remember this
character
stuff, 'cause
took it from a tape because Jamie's character dies in the second one,
Yeah, he dies in the second one,
and then
which
he
you didn't
left
see
a
that
tape.
coming.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody gets killed.
I have to rewatch. It feels like I want to rewatch this now just because talking about Scream, like it's kind of like watching Batman, right? Watching Batman Return, watching Batman Forever. Like I kind of don't want to watch Batman and Robin. I don't even know how I can bring that up with this movie, but I do want to watch Scream 2 and 3. Like I can't remember seeing 4 or not. I can't remember what 4
Well, I'm
was.
sure you did. I'm sure we saw 4.
But I know I seen the newest one, which is
Yeah, by
called
the way,
Scream again.
I just thought of it. It's Emma Roberts is
Emma
the
Roberts.
actress in the fourth one. She turns out to be not so cool.
Ah, okay.
Emma Roberts,
Scream
dad-
4.
you know who Emma Roberts is, right?
No. Emma Roberts. Who is that?
She was in Meet the Millers. Her aunt is real famous. Her name is Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Her dad is Eric Roberts.
Oh,
famous
Emma
actor.
Roberts. What I thought you. Oh, okay. Oh, she was in Meet the Millers.
Yeah,
I seen
Meet
Meet
the
the
Millers.
Millers once. It's pretty. Wait, is it Meet the Millers? Is that the one with
Yeah,
Jason Sudeikis?
Meet the Millers and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a funny movie.
Yeah, she's the blonde.
You know the one who plays her brother in that movie is gonna be Adam Warlock, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So
Emma
there's-
Roberts. I can't remember Scream 4.
Okay. Well, right. It wasn't as good as the first
Obviously, nothing is as good as this first one, right? Nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't good as the second
You know.
one. There's a big debate. I could debate the second first. I still think the first one's better than the second one, but not by much.
Hmm.
I could watch Scream One or Scream Two. To me, they're both excellent. It's the third one to me it goes too far away.
Well, it's always a trilogy, right? Like
Yeah, it's a
Christopher
trilogy.
Nolan said, like how many the third sequel is actually good. How
Yeah,
many?
it's rare.
It's really rare. I mean, he did a good job with The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I mean the problem is nobody gives a sucky a movie three sequels anyways. You know.
Especially a home. Well, I can't
Yeah.
say that
Well,
because
that's
the
the
Friday
thing.
the 13th.
You're not gonna make a. The problem is you're not gonna make a really crappy first movie and be able to make a third. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Because the
Because
first
if the
one's got to be
first
good.
movie sucks, then you don't get the chance to
You
make
know, it's
two
even
more.
second. Like kind of like you said, like the
But the
second one was
but the
good
thing
too.
is, though, if there was if somebody did get a chance to make a let's say we made a crappy first movie, and somebody somehow goes, "No, we'll go ahead and give you another chance," you're probably going to be able to beat it then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But that just doesn't happen in Hollywood because money's what is the
It's make
determining
the
factor.
thing goes around, right? Like how many
Yeah,
first movie we saw that sucked, right? They actually had a sequel.
none
You know.
that I can think of. I'm sure there is one.
But you know what's really crazy though? Like when we talk about first sucky movies, right? It might suck in the U.S., but it does really well global, like
Yeah,
worldwide. Then they make a sequel. I mean,
yeah, I see that.
those, but like I can't think of those right now because if they suck, you and I probably most likely have not seen this.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna Google that right now. Movie that sucked that has sequels. Movie that sucked.
yeah, but the problem is that's going to be up to somebody's own personal opinion too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's probably a lot of people that they're going Scream sucks, dude.
Well, that's probably like people who don't like horror, right? Like you said, you're not a horror guy, but you think this
Yeah.
movie was
Oh, I
great.
love this movie because I
Yeah.
mean it's not like true horror. It's just a slasher film.
It's a
It's a little
slasher
murder
thriller, right?
mystery. Yeah.
It follows
I
the
mean,
thriller slasher
I
thing
mean,
instead
it's
of
got
horror.
like, I mean, of course, it's got the scary elements to it. It's supposed to make you jump. There's a lot of scenes that try to make you jump
Yep.
and stuff. There's a lot of blood and there's a lot of gore. Because I mean, every couple they kill that the cameraman, they stick him on top of the bed. His blood's all running
Oh,
down the van, and she's trying to wipe it off. You step to the puddle of his blood, and of course, you got when that first of it, when they kill Casey Becker,
yeah.
they hang her from the tree. And you
And
see
they
all her
gutted her,
intestines
yeah.
hanging out. Yeah, and you also see her boyfriend. All his stuff falls out of him. It was pretty
Oh, I forgot about that kid,
pretty,
that boyfriend thing. That's a little part for
yeah,
that guy.
pretty gory right there.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, her parents here get killed.
You know, it's really funny. Those are pretty gory, right? And me and my wife been watching that Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. And
Yeah,
based on everything I've seen so far, right, like Scream, you just seen the season 1 of The Boys, right? That's pretty gory too.
yeah.
Then I watched Jeffrey Dahmer, and I'm like,
I'm on number 3, so
oh, okay,
yeah,
oh,
it's
you're on
pretty
number 2.
cool.
So I'm watching Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And I'm like, just based on what I read from serial killer and what this guy done, right? He did some gory stuff too. They don't
Yeah,
show any of that on Netflix. And I'm here watching, like, waiting, like, okay, they're gonna show some stuff, right? Because I want to see this. They don't show any of that, and I'm like,
yeah, because
this show's kind of boring. And Heather's like,
yeah,
really?
this
Yeah.
this was so really was really
because
bad.
because like I'm coming from The Boys, so like I'm watching this Jeffrey Dahmer thing, like, yeah, this is not impressive to me. Like, I can't believe people are talking about this. Maybe those people haven't seen The Boys.
Or they really haven't seen anything.
So have you liked
But
The
again,
Boys?
I think the Jeffrey Dahmer though is just a fake. It's just to show you this is what happened. Guess
Yeah, I
what?
think that's pretty, like, just
It wasn't
the
for
victims.
to me. It's more of a documentary, probably more than it is a
Yeah, it's a documentary
entertaining
show.
show. But the boys is to entertain and gross you out at the same
Don't you
time.
love that? Like, it's every time you ask, like, well, they can't show anything grosser than this, like, and then they do, and then every
Well,
time,
the problem is you can go too far. I think they get to the point where they've gone too far, and the story's not as interesting. It's like, okay, they're giving me a story now.
do you like Carl Urban's character? I love Carl Urban
I
overall.
love Carl. Oh, I love Carl.
Yeah, I
Urban,
like this guy
especially
a lot.
Judge Dredd. So
Yes. And like I had no idea Jack Quaid was Dennis Quaid's son for a long time.
did either.
But I can see
What do you
that
guys-
he does look like he looks
Does
like Matt
now.
Ryan a lot actually.
Now, yeah,
Yeah.
now.
Now that I know, but I do like him. I like the girl who plays Starlight. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's all right.
She was in another thing. She plays a superhero too. I can't remember
Oh,
what it is
really?
now. Yeah.
Wasn't Heroes, was it?
No, it wasn't Heroes. I can't remember. She played something else that was a superhero, but she was really good in this role. But you know what? Get back to Scream. You know what? Jack Quaid's in the new Scream also. That's why I brought that up too.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
voice, yeah.
Yeah, then that must be the fifth one.
Yeah, that is the fifth one, but they don't call it Scream 5. They just call it Scream.
Yeah, they call it
again.
Scream, which
Yeah.
is confusing.
But then, they
It's
do
like when
the
they did
things like
Fast and the.
Scream
It's like when they
1996.
did Fast and the
So
Furious. It's like
I'm so glad you brought that up. It's called The Fast and the Furious, but the fourth one's called Fast and Furious.
I don't know. I'm like, what? Come on.
Those are
Why would you confuse? Why would you want to confuse your audience?
because you know what? That's when Justin Lin took it over.
Man, it don't matter. To confuse your audience. I mean, you may be looking for one or the other, and then you start watching one you don't want to watch.
Justin Lin is probably the only other director, right, besides James Cameron, that took a franchise from someone created and still made it good.
Yeah, and saved it.
Yeah, and
But like
saved it.
but I hate when I sit down and I'm going to watch Scream and I'm watching.
Yeah, which one am I watching?
This is
1996 or 2022?
I mean, come on, even Warner Brothers don't do crap like that. I mean, it's like Superman. They got Superman and they got Men of Steel. That way you don't go watching Superman and who's this guy? That would be messed up if they would have called the Man of Steel Superman, because then people would be try to go watch it, and then they're like, what's Christopher Reeve here?
The Man of Steel thing, I feel like is the Nolan brothers stuff. Because, they went from Batman to call it the Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
And then when they produced Superman, they call it Man of Steel. It feels like they want to call these superhero like the other names,
Yeah.
The Dark Crusader.
And I actually have a comic book called Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel,
number
yeah.
1. It's got Batman in it too.
Oh, maybe that's why it has Batman in her. Man of Steel.
In the second one, it does. By the way, they're going to make another
the Man of Steel 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I heard about that. And you heard about Harrison Ford signing up to do Thunderbolt. Not Thunderbolt, but he replaced William Hurt's character.
Yeah,
he passed away.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I thought that was going to
I'm
be
looking
cool.
forward.
I always hate. Cool. Did you see the they made Guardians of the Galaxy has a Christmas special.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't.
You know how you and I always talking about, like, when are they going to put Kevin Bacon in the MCU? Watch that trailer. You're going to laugh your ass off. Just watch the trailer. That's all you had to do. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. And then, like, it's finally happening. And then I start laughing my ass off.
Well, let's see, it's still there.
Hey, I have a question. Like, I might not be familiar with guns, right? I did write this down. Like, when they shot Jamie Kennedy, right? Like, he flew back really hard. Isn't that just a Beretta, like a 9mm? That's what they shot him with.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know what the impact that does, right, to a human, because I never seen that before. I don't know if the science works like that.
Well, I don't know. He was a little tiny bitty nerd, but I don't think that's really.
That's not my question though. My second question is, like, when he shot him, then he itches his head with the gun. Isn't that hot? The tip of the gun should be hot, right?
It can be kind of hot, but it's not going to be. You could probably itch your head still with it. Plus, it's a movie.
Okay, that's why I was.
I mean, it would. Too. You're right. The barrel should have been hot.
But like, I wouldn't itch my head like.
But it depends on what you're touching, because there is a little piece around that barrel on a Beretta.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he just has the police pistol.
The police pistol. Right? Oh yeah, that's what he got. Yeah,
it's Dewey's pistol.
I just thought it was hot,
Because I thought it was funny because she had the safety on. Remember?
Oh, I know. God, that was so intense right there.
So you could see somebody get stabbed with an umbrella. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. I like they had this holding plan, and they stab each other, right?
Yeah.
I like it when Sidney calls them in from inside the house, and he's like, "Should I let the machine get it?" The character is so stupid. Maybe
he does. He says a lot of he says a lot of stupid things.
He does.
He's even talking. I remember he goes, "Oh, parents are gonna be so disappointed." It's like, what?
Did you really call the cops?
It's like, what? Crazy crap is it?
Oh, say hello to
you see. It turns out Stu's just a little follower baby. So.
Oh, he is a follower baby. Like he's the one that's the psycho killer.
He's the one that's he was the psycho. He was the true psycho.
Yeah, he's no cause and effect on his.
Well, they're both true psychos.
But then, Billy has the mother thing.
Yeah, he has the mother thing, but he is kind of a psycho too.
Oh yeah, to do all of this, to carry.
Yeah, to do all that, plan. Even because he even goes, "Oh, you don't have to have a moment. It's the millennium."
Yeah, but then if you think about it, they planned this.
Yeah, they planned it for a long
There's
time.
no way like
Because it turns out they're supposedly the ones that killed
the mother,
Sidney's mother,
Yep.
and framed Courteney.
Frame Cotton, which is crazy. That's the
and
crime scene. That's the
and that's the thing. And the thing is, to get even, they waited a whole year for the anniversary.
I know, like they're like a spy, like a double agent.
Yeah,
this whole time, like just kept cool.
Yep, and they just slowly did their thing.
Like, oh my god, I can't wait until it's time. You know, like some crazy thing like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to point out, like I rarely do, there's just nothing but white people in this movie, right?
Yeah, small town America.
Oh, small town America is just white people. I'm pretty sure they have some minorities in the background. I just didn't catch any.
I'm sure they did, but the problem is the minority. I mean, come on. I mean, why would? I mean, they probably should for the movie's sake.
Probably nowadays when they remake it.
But in the '90s, like if there was to make that movie here, I'd be like, why is those people in this movie? That don't make any sense. No, it is. That's the thing. You see some movies got got minorities in there, and you're thinking, well, why is that person in that position? Because in real life,
he's the running back for the football team.
I don't know. People forget. I mean, the thing is, you want to make it for the world. You're making a movie for the world, but the problem is, there is places where you go, you're not going to see minorities. I just hate to tell you that. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
The minorities are like, there's all white people there. I'm not living there. God.
My dad always say like, this is what he said. My dad always say like, hey, no matter where you go, right, there's going to be always Chinese people everywhere.
Really?
I'm like, really? But then I think about it, like, there's so many places. Like I told you, when I went to Nebraska last year, right?
Yeah.
The mall, I talked to another person that spoke Cantonese.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's rare for me right now in the city I live in to talk to another person.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, it's rare.
In Nebraska, so I talked to her. Right, they actually own like I think they own a Hong Kong supermarket over there, and her family's been there for generations. She's actually born here, but she speaks Cantonese, which is also really rare. But like, if you're in the Midwest, and I was like so surprised, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing some kind of Thanksgiving thing. You and your wife should come by because like." We went like right before Thanksgiving, so some of the kids still have school, right? So I took my boys there, and her son was just playing in the play area. It just so happened that in that mall's play area, which is in the middle of the food court, we found two Chinese people in there that spoke the same language.
Yeah, but you gotta think they probably got an area of town where that's all their people.
Yeah, like
all Cantonese people. Well, it's like a lot of places here. Like, okay, in this place, you could make a movie and there'd be nothing but Hispanic people. If there's a white guy and they go, why is the white guy there?
Oh, you're talking about the Great Wall, right? Like with Matt Damon.
No, I'm talking about like there's like a neighborhood. Usually a whole group of people of the same race or same ethnic group live in the neighborhood. It's the way things work. It's like if you're watching a movie with a whole bunch of black folks, and you see a white guy, it's like, why is that white dude there?
We didn't talk about that when we talked about District 9. Like it's in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then these white people are there.
Oh, South Africa's kind of got white people.
Yeah, there's a lot of white people.
Actually, there was a whole thing about this. We shouldn't even get into that. It's a racist thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just recently find out, like, there's a lot of Chinese people in South Africa, too.
Really?
Yeah. Well, my friends were telling me, like, we were talking about communism and all that stuff, right? Like, is there a race out there that doesn't hate Chinese people? And then one of my friends from high school was like, yeah, South Africans, because, some obviously to do with money, right? Like, they give them a lot of money to spill something like that. Like, it's probably a hidden agenda behind it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, we already know Chinese people don't like Africans that much. So. I'm not saying Chinese people. I should say that. I should say China.
China people, yeah.
Yeah, China. Yeah, the communist China does not really like.
If you put it that way, communist China doesn't like a lot of people.
You're right. They really don't like.
Don't even like Chinese people.
Because that's the thing. If you're making a Chinese movie in China, and you see like some white guys like, what's this? What is this?
Oh, because he's the one who he's a traitor. He's for communism. That's why they have.
Yeah, he's the traitor. Yeah, he got shipped out.
He can deliver the message.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he's white, you're probably like, yeah, he's either German or Australian. So
yes. Oh goodness. Hey, I was gonna ask you. Like, I wrote this down.
Hey,
Like,
but by the way, since we before we get off the subject, since
okay.
you asked the question,
Hmm.
Scream 2 does have black folks in it. So
Oh, see, right off the beginning too, and then they killed him.
they got killed quick. Well, because nobody made the joke that you never see black people get killed in horror movies.
Really?
Yes, I can't remember who made the joke. Somebody made the joke like that, and
I
the
thought the
problem is,
joke was like the black people were first to go because they make fun of that in
oh, did it?
Scary
I never
Movie.
heard that. I heard another joke that the one I heard was there was you never see black folks get, and somebody goes, so that's because we run away.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was
They were
like,
run
I
away.
was thinking, no, it's because there's really no black people in horror
So
movies.
you've seen Scary Movie, right, with the Rain
I
Brothers?
haven't seen Scary Movie.
Oh my God, you need to. They did a very good job because those guys they did their research before
Oh,
they
really?
did the
I think
parody.
I've only seen parts of it, but I've
Oh
never seen the
no,
full movie.
like the Scary Movie, like we watched it in the theater too, and it's funny as hell. It's when someone
Well,
did
of
a
course it is.
parody.
It's Wayne Brothers.
Yeah, the Ring Brothers, right? They're the one who did it right, and then people trying to bank off that,
Yeah,
and then they suck. But the
yeah.
Ring Brothers, they actually watch a whole bunch of scary movies. They make fun of correct parts, and there's a scene. It's kind of like Scream, right? Where they had the reporters in the beginning, like the tragedy of Hillsborough. They had they had a black station, okay? Like white people are getting killed, and we're getting the f out here. And they just took off. They just took off.
Yeah, well, that's the joke I've always heard.
But the other joke was in Scary Movie 2, when like it was Ring Brothers, right? Like three black
Yeah.
people, and they're like, hey, in situations like this, we should never split up, okay? All seven of us should stay together. So there's a guy in the wheelchair, David Cross, right, the comedian. Okay, you three come with me. He's pointing to the three white people, and then they just hook up, and then there's just live the Rain Brothers and the black girl there, right? And then they just look at each other like, we're gonna die, y'all. But I never heard that. Like
Yeah, I can't remember the joke who's telling the joke, but the thing is, like I said,
from so when I watch these Jason movies and like Friday the 13th and Elm Street, right? That was at a time before I even spoke English because I
oh,
watched them
okay,
in Hong Kong,
yeah,
and I never noticed race when I was watching these
yeah.
horror movies, right? Because
Well, let me put it this way: a lot of people never did because they're too
yeah,
busy watching the people
because
die.
now I'm thinking, yeah, just because it's
But
scary.
now, but now we're on it. Think about it. How
I've
many actually? Because you got Scream, you see black people get killed in that one. I mean, what horror movies have you seen Chinese people die? And you can't count Korean or
Oh, I'm talking about
Japanese
just
horror movies.
American produced,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm talking about American produced. I can't think of any.
No, because it's very white driven, right? I guess at that time.
Well, I'm talking about even up to date. Can you think of any? I
What is the
can't.
most recent, like Chucky?
Does anybody of Asian heritage get
No,
killed
there's
in
not a
the?
lot of other
Yeah,
heritage in those
I'm
movies.
being like, do you see anybody? It's Indian or
No.
Chinese or Japanese? No. So basically, if me and you're in a horror movie, I'm going to die and you're going to be fine.
Finally. But every other movie from that, my ass is the first to go. We can't be in the Iron Man movie. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So adding to survive a whole movie, be a minority. do not be Caucasian.
Yeah, please not.
This is not gonna end good for y'all.
And if you're a woman in it, you're either going to be the hero or you're dead.
Yeah, I guess it's something with feminism. Like, you're gonna be hero or you're gonna be dead.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always good to have the female survive, isn't it?
I don't know why you would
I don't know. I think it's because it's out of the norm. It's always the man that's the hero.
in the other movies.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard to guess to determine that like the female is the one that survived this tragedy.
Well, except for Scream, like I said, there's three main characters,
And
and they
Halloween,
survived.
right?
And they survived all the movies. Well, in Halloween though, you have different people survive it. You don't always have the same characters.
Yeah, you don't have the
In
same
Scream
characters.
1 through 3, you have the same characters.
I know it's crazy,
You
right?
have Dewey, yeah, Dewey, and
Part part of it is kind of going to see just to see if they're gonna make it to this one.
yeah, and they did. Every one of them. You kind of wondered though, because they killed off Jamie Kennedy. You thought, well, he was gonna make it. Well, he sure did.
And he sure did. He dies in the second one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised even in. He's in this movie a lot.
Well, he's kind of because he is the nerd. He's the Kevin Williamson character.
He's the
I
comic
guess.
relief one of this
Yeah,
movie,
well,
right?
I don't know. He's just a little geek that likes a girl
Yes.
and thinks, oh, she'd be better off with me. And all he does is watch horror movies all day long.
So we talk about the crime thing, right? The one last thing I want to talk about is like they frame Cotton,
Yeah.
right, for the crime. Have you ever seen that movie called The Life of David Gale?
I have not.
But you ever
Never
heard of
heard
it?
of it.
Oh, you never heard of it? So
No,
it's
never
Kevin
heard.
Spacey and I can't remember the female actress. But it's basically the movies they frame a guy on death. So David Gale is Kevin Spacey's character, right?
Yeah.
He's being framed, but all the evidence pointed towards him. So I think it's based on a true story. It's in Austin, Texas, and in our great state of Texas, we have the death penalty, right?
Yeah.
So since all the evidence points to where David Gale, we executed him. It was until after he got executed, right? The new evidence came forward that it wasn't him that did it, but that we put an innocent man on death row.
Oh, that sucks for him.
Yeah, so it's kind of remind me of that because I think he was also on death row, right, Cotton, or whatever.
Yeah.
He got framed for murder. He didn't commit, but all the evidence points towards him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because somebody framed him. So.
I know. How do you prove that? Like I love how this movie brought that out, right? And you can't.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to be able to, but you can't.
It sucks. Even the person how do I get myself into this mess? I need to stop drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it happens.
It happens more often than we think.
It probably happens a lot more often than we think. The problem is, it's like some people just give up. They go, well, that's good enough for me.
Oh.
They
Yeah.
count the thing is they count somebody's character first. Because like Cotton Weary, he was sleeping around, getting drunk. So they automatically said, well, he's already a low life.
Oh, so just put them in that situation.
And then they go, well, we got blood on his jacket. Simple.
Man.
They're like, do you want to take fingerprints? No, don't even bother. What do you want to go investigate the crime? Nah, it's done. Done.
Do you
Because
think
you got to think in a small town, a lot of the police aren't going to do thorough investigations.
No,
they just don't have the equipment or the education behind it.
Wow. So what you're saying is, if you want to get away with murder, you do it in a small town.
I'm not saying that, but
So I know I talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Like I feel like back then serial killers are easy to get away with because lack of.
Well, I'm thinking there's
and
tons
like
of them
that, right?
now. You see people disappear. I mean, people disappear every day. We see it in the news. Oh, we can't find something. And then we blame it on somebody else, or somebody else gets caught. But then we'll probably 10 years from now, for us, we'll see in the news, oh, well, we caught the real killers now.
Oh.
It happens quite often.
It does happen quite often.
But you also get people that say they get abducted and almost beat up, and then they blame it on a group of people, and it turns out they did it themselves.
Ooh.
We saw that too.
Yeah. It's just so hard to.
And that kind of crap doesn't help anybody because the thing is.
What.
Yeah, because when they make up a story, then now you're adding this killer to this killer or this abductor to this killer's list and stuff, and then it turns out there was never anybody there, and it took away from somebody actually finding the real killer to help somebody else that needs it.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean,
well, what are you gonna do, huh?
Yeah, I know we're going really deep into it because this is a horror movie. You're not supposed to think about that crap.
But did you think throughout this movie, right? Did you think that Sidney even know that? She thinks that Cotton might not be the one who killed his.
Oh, she does. Remember, she's questioned it. Even in the movie, remember, there's a scene where she questioned it. Even when she's talking to.
In front of Gale.
Well, she didn't want to. She didn't want to at first because remember, to Rose McGowan's character.
Yes.
She's sitting there. She's sitting on the porch. Remember her? She goes, "Well, your mom was kind of like this," and she doesn't want to say it to Sidney because Sidney would be defensive.
Yeah.
But she's trying to point out to her, say, "Hey," and then later on in the movie. Sidney's like, man, I could have.
That's right. They mirrored the thing. Like she pointed Billy as the killer, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie works so well. Then, she got it wrong the first time too, and you think she got it wrong the second time. Man. Well, I lost your video feed, Shane. Are you still on? Oh, you know what? I guess he got technical difficulties, so this is where I'm going to end the show right here. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.